Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Friday. This is dannIGeeLive, and we have back in the house Miss Joyce Elaine Yuille for part 2 of our conversation. I'm gonna play a little bit of her sound, her music, her song from her album Soul of Porter. I hope you guys can hear this. Yes. Too hot. It's perfect for this sort of rainy day. Here we are in New York City. A little gray. Yes. Joyce Yuille, how are you? Let me turn this down so we can hear you. Yes. Joyce Yuille, how are you? How are you?
I can be, as we all can be, in this moment. You got to stay optimistic. That's the only thing you can do. You know what I'm saying? Here in Italy, still in Italy, and just facing all of the situations and difficulties that we're having right now, because they have just announced today that on November 9th, that we are going into lockdown for 1 month. Again.
Oh my God.
So all my work has just basically, it already went out the window before.
Right.
I unfortunately in July had a bike accident and completely just ruined my knee. So that left me bedridden for 2 months basically. And the work that I had, recuperated after the first lockdown, which was March 9th, just went out the window. But I managed to still, I had one important jazz festival that I had to do. So honey, your girlfriend was up on them crutches like.
I know, I saw you, I did. And I definitely want to talk about the getting back to, the performing, because the last time we spoke, so just so you guys know, this is Joyce Yuille. We've known each other since 2003, 4? No. 2006, 7.
No. It was like, it was 2000 and, I think it was 2004. It might've been 2004, 2005.
Yeah, so we met working with the great Gloria Gaynor, and Joyce is from East Harlem, but has been living in Italy, in Milan, around Milan, for the past, how many years?
I'm in Brescia.
Right, so now she has moved to Brescia, this beautiful home where you see her now, and we're Zooming recording for this special edition's part 2, because Joyce is in Italy, and we wanted to make sure we had a nice, clear recording. So it is morning now, my time. I've only been awake for about an hour. and it's, what time is it there?
It is now 4:08.
4:08, great. So I wanted to bring Joyce back because the last time that we spoke, Joyce was just about to get back to performing. And so that had to be, gosh, we talked back in August, I think?
No, wait a minute. That was like June or July.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it might have been June.
Right.
I was about to start doing my shows again.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. So the first thing I wanted to ask was, just a little backstory. So I still work with Summer Stage. We're still doing all this virtual content. And I had the opportunity to finally book a music show for Summer Stage, albeit virtual, with Gloria Gaynor, our dear friend Gigi. And it's a show sponsored by AARP. So it was my first time actually going to a venue since the shutdown, since March. And being in a room with musicians, and just because I wanted to be there to assist, because it was my booking. Yeah. And when I tell you, when they started sound checking and hearing her sing with her singers, the emotions just overcame me. Yeah. Seriously, I just started crying. She's laughing from the stage, like, girls, but y'all know me. So your first show back, How was that for you? Was it an emotional experience, even the rehearsal potentially?
Well, my first show back was, you know, me on crutches.
Right.
You know, I had, my accident was July 9th, and my first show was July 14th.
Hmm.
And I had to do it. You know, I couldn't not, you know, my agent got me this fabulous festival to do. I couldn't let him down, and I couldn't let down my musicians either. You know, Danny, we live off of this. This is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I personally, I don't teach, I don't do voice lessons or anything like that. I don't even feel that I'm even qualified in the sense that, yes, I've studied, I went to school. I don't have a certificate. So I'm one of these types of things that I'm not going to just, you know, have some kids or some girls come to my house or some singers come to my place like, listen, all right, do, re, mi, fa, sol. You know, it's just not me, because a lot of people do that here, you know, and I'm not down with that program. You know, what I am good at is I will tell you what I saw you doing on stage.
Right.
Well, I kind of started creating some master classes around that, but you know, the lockdown came, so I didn't even get a chance to do that. I was really emotional on July 14th because, first of all, I was on those crutches, and honey, a sister's knee was on fire. Baby, it was just, I was like, make sure y'all got that fire extinguisher up on that stage. Honey, sister, but you know what? I'm a trooper. I'm like a woman warrior, and I was not going to let everyone down.
Right.
It's really, really important festival. So, you know, I got there. I was with my wheelchair. I was with Renato, my guy, and he's like willing me, and I was like,
Joyce. Yes.
Baby, I was like, give me just a little bit of what? Some Ironside music in the background.
Yes.
And I got there, and my agent said, there's stairs.
Oh, no.
And, you know, I was already feeling some kind of way because, you know, I'm not a vain doll. Well,
right.
But I know how I like to look on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know how we do. And I was like, all right, so I got to wear these sneakers, you know, my little sneaker shoes. I had a little dress, little denim, you know, vest and everything. And I got there and I saw the stairs and I said, well, you know, I'm going to have to get up them. So when it was time for the show to start, and well, I had to hop up them for the sound check. But when the show started, you know, I arrived, I was in a wheelchair, so the audience is seeing me because I'm coming in, and they were like,
oh boy.
Oh. So, you know, I got up, I got my crutches, and I just gave the crutches to my agent to bring up on top of this, you know, on the stage. And I just grabbed onto the banisters, you know, onto the what do you call them? I can't even think of the hand grips.
Yeah.
Railing. You know, and girl, I'm sorry, it's that little mixture between thinking in Italian and thinking. But I held onto the railings and I just hopped up on one, you know, my good foot.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, the people just stood up and started clapping. I hadn't even opened
my God. Are you serious?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And I was like,
oh, I'm getting emotional just even visualizing. Girl, I can't, Joyce. Sorry.
Stop. And I was like, oh gosh. And they got me this beautiful leather, they call it poltrona in a, you know, leather reclining type of chair seat. And it was beautiful. The atmosphere was beautiful. We were in this kind of courtyard, a huge courtyard in Reggio Emilia. And there were stars out. The people were all there. You know, of course, everyone was social distanced and they had their masks. But the atmosphere was incredible. And, you know, I just felt so good to be back on stage. I was like, this is not necessarily how I would like to come back.
Of course.
I explained it to them. And, you know, I'm always joking around. So I said, you know, I kind of like had a little bit of a tumble. So if you see me hopping around, there's a reason, you know.
But you were there. You made it. You did
it. And that was the point. I said,
yeah.
I'm here. And I said it was really important for me to be here with you all this evening because I could not let you down.
Oh.
And they just were like, brava, brava. I mean, it went on for 5 minutes, you know, and I was like, you know me, I don't break down as easily as you do. So my lip was like,
oh.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. The whole atmosphere and everything.
Joyce, that's so amazing.
The crowd, everything was just wonderful. Everything.
Yeah.
So that was my first experience back on stage. Mm-hmm. But then after that, I still had a slew of other shows to do. But you know, I started doing physical therapy. I started doing treatments for my knee. What happened was with my knee is that I broke my what do you call it? Because I'm thinking about it in Italian. It's the tibial.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I kind of tore a bit, not tore, but fractured a bit one of my ligaments.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, so it was pain beyond belief. Mm-hmm. And you know, going to do the treatments and seeing the doctors and they finally said, Joyce, you can't. Mm-hmm. You just can't run around on this. You know, we know that's what you want to do. We know you have shows, but you are going to have to just sit down and stay still.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in bed, like, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Bored out of my mind, you know, because I'm used to performing. I'm used to being on the road.
Yeah.
You know, after that long lockdown, we were just ecstatic. We were like, oh my gosh, we get to go back out on the road again.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened. So little by little, I started getting it together and did therapy. I mean, I'm walking fine now.
Great.
A little sore, but you know, it bends and everything now.
Oh,
so
good.
Yeah, because they were worried about that I would be able to, you know, bend my knee again.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out perfectly. And, you know, I started doing a few shows afterwards. But now here we are again. All the shows that I just recently booked have gone out the window.
It's heartbreaking, Joyce.
It's about me. It's about all of us. You know, they were in plazas around Italy today in every city protesting.
Oh, wow.
And the reason being is they've closed all the theaters.
Mm.
All of the, you know, any venue where you would have a show or some type of recital or a concert, they've closed them all. All the schools are closed. They've closed down anything to do with the arts. And we are tired of being considered the last on the list.
Right.
All right. So today, and unfortunately, I didn't go because I needed to be here with you.
Oh, thank you.
That chance to go, and because I'm traveling with train, so I would have had to go to Milan, and then try to hurry up and get back here. So I sat it out, but everyone was in the plazas, like I said, around Italy in all the cities, protesting. All the artists, anyone to do with arts, restaurants. We are now in a situation where restaurants have to close at 6 p.m.
Oh no!
Tell me, how can restaurants normally people start going to dine at 8, 9?
Right.
So restaurants that do, you know, takeaway or delivery, they're not even delivering now. Takeaway. You can go after 6 p.m. and do the takeaway. They can't deliver. They can't make it. That's been cut off. And the ones who don't do any type of takeaway had to close.
Oh my God.
Back in this situation again. And it's heartbreaking because I have colleagues and a lot of people I know, Danny, that, you know, and I can never criticize them for that because when I started, I did it too, living from gig to gig. But, you know, once you get to a certain level or get to a certain point in your life, you're like, this money's got to go here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And like I said, I am no rich person, but you have to have a little bit of something going on, like that rainy day situation.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I know live from gig to gig.
Listen, I've only just at 52 got a little savings happening as having lived mostly as an artist. So I get it. And you're right. Most people, not artists, non-artists, are living check to check, which we have seen in this country. Millions of people since this pandemic started have been dumped into poverty, because of this pandemic. And yeah.
That don't know how they're going to buy groceries for next week.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. I consider myself fortunate. I have a home, I've got food, I've been sitting around trying to find an idea or think of a way. Well, those of us who are not suffering like that,
Mm-hmm.
how do we know the ones that are?
Right. Yeah.
So it's dire straits right now, baby. It is dire straits right now, and this is all over the world. But in terms of anything to do with the arts and cultural situations, in terms of what we do, we are basically brought down to our knees again.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much anxiety, and again, I say this, I wake up with such gratitude every day that I've been able to maintain my job through all of this.
Yes.
And it just hit me really going to the venue to watch Gloria's taping. It really hit me in that moment that I'm really proud, as stressful as it has been all summer, but I'm really proud of what we've been able to do, not only as presenters, but to be able to give artists a place to perform, a chance to come together, and to put art out into the world.
During this period, you know what I'm saying?
Say that one more time.
I said that within itself is an accomplishment, especially with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy now. It's just not.
Yeah. So the lockdown is starting in what, a week, next week? So I just, before we got on, I didn't check on the numbers where the world is now, but even in terms of the United States, when we've got that fool talking about we've turned a corner. We've turned a corner into it getting worse. We are now up to 229 deaths of cases that we know were COVID related, which is basically a quarter of the entire world's deaths. And New York, we're upticking again. The whole state has 33,000 deaths. Yeah. New York City to date, 24,000. Out of that 33, we're 24,000 here in the city. Italy is at 38,000 today. So it's mind-boggling to me that you have 38,000 deaths in your country, right? In your country. That's a country. In our state alone, we have 33.
Yeah. What happened, Danny, basically, besides the people who are denying that COVID is as dangerous as it is, you have a lot of people who just don't believe it's, they're just like, it's like, it's just like a flu. No, it's not. And what happened this summer that passed, we had low numbers. The numbers started to decline.
Mm-hmm.
People began to relax. It's summertime. And honey, you are not going to keep Italians in the house in the summertime, honey.
New Yorkers, same thing, right?
You know what I'm saying? But these people, they got to go to the beach. They like, oh my God.
Girl,
Girl. They're like, ma cosa dici? Ma che cosa dici?
Yes. Oh.
So they have to go to and I get it.
Yeah.
They're also they're very habitual.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did this summer, they do every summer.
Mm-hmm.
they surely didn't want to miss it this summer.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of disagreed with it because I said, and I foresaw it, I said, these numbers are going down now. The numbers are going to be low because it's summertime. It's warmer.
Right.
Everyone's going to become relaxed.
Right.
And negligent, because they were.
Mm-hmm.
And when we hit the fall, we're going to be right back where we started.
Yeah.
And we're only at the end of October today.
Girl.
Danny, between October 1st and October 30th, the rise in the number of cases that we have here in Italy is beyond ridiculous. Granted, they are doing a lot of testing.
Right.
They are.
Yeah.
So the more you test, of course, the more cases are going to come out positive or whatever. However, I feel that when the summer came, Europe should have just stayed close to each other in the sense, Italians, you stay in your country.
Mm-hmm.
French, you stay there. We don't want everyone traveling around Europe because we still have a pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going on.
Yeah.
Taking place right now.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So people went traveling off to France. They went to Greece. They went to Turkey. They went to the UK. Everybody's gone all around. And voila.
Right. Yeah. So tell me this about your shows, because, early in the midway through the summer, we got a deal with Amazon, and one of the artists was Pete Rock and the Soul Brothers, and part of his band were coming from Nashville. He was like, I have to have my crew. This is going to be on some live stream. I need my right people, and I get that. But, as I was assisting with putting the show together and booking the flights and whatever, it pinged, Tennessee was one of those hot quarantine states. And, I brought that up to the team. And so, we had to put all these regulations in place and waivers. Have you had to sign any waivers? Do they do temperature checks at the shows?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Say it one more time.
There are temperature checks everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Those are mandatory. And the shows, yeah, there are temperature checks. For example, I just did Blue Note on October 10th. Thank God, because that had already been postponed.
Yes.
So we finally got a chance to do it in the nick of time, because now the Blue Note is closed again.
Oh.
Yeah, baby, they stopped us. We're going on an official lockdown, but they've already stopped us last week.
Wow.
Anything to do with the arts, stopped.
Yeah.
Restaurants, stopped.
Yeah. Culture. It is
Yeah.
culture. Culture's gone. Yeah.
And this is why we are protesting.
Yeah.
And we're carrying on.
Yeah.
So there was a whole jazz festival that was going on called the Jazz Me. And I think maybe only 4 out of the 20-something artists got a chance to do their thing.
Mm.
And everything else had to just shut down.
Yeah.
So in terms of going back to the Blue Note, they took the best precautions. They, unfortunately, in terms of the capacity, which is normally 330 people for you to sell it out,
Right.
had to be reduced down to a maximum of 180.
Wow.
So I had, I did a Saturday evening. My first show was sold out, 180, and the second show we had about 110 people.
Mm.
But the crowd was very enthusiastic.
Of course.
They were wonderful. You could wear a mask inside, or you could be without a mask, but everyone was distanced.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, coming in, everyone has to be temperature checked.
Mm-hmm.
There's hand gel, hand sanitizer everywhere.
Yeah.
So they have taken precautions here in Italy, but you still have people that are unwilling to follow the rules.
I don't get it. I don't get it. And they're smug about it. That's what, yeah, that's what kills me. It's the smugness about it. Like, it's almost a rebellion, or like, I don't have to follow the rules. I don't.
And this is the problem with y'all's president, because I'm not claiming him. I voted a long time ago.
Good.
My ballot went off. Today is October 30th.
Yeah.
I sent my ballot off on September 29th. I went online and checked, and the BOE received my ballot on October 7th and validated it.
Great. Great.
So you know, not to get off what we were talking about before, but I just want to tell everybody, if you have not yet voted and you plan on doing so, please do not send your ballots in by mail at this point. It is too late.
It's too late.
It's too late for that.
Yeah.
Please, I am living overseas. I'm sorry because I get emotional about this. And
yeah.
You know, adamant about this man has to go.
Yeah.
You need to, I don't care how you do it. If I hopped on the stage with crutches and wheelchair, you can go and vote.
Yeah.
In person. Do not try to send any ballots in right now. They even got down to Democrats abroad here made a deal with the DHL discounts so we can express our ballots over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we had a discount code. So instead of us paying like $70 to send our ballots back to the United States, it costs maybe, I don't know, like 25 or 30.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my goodness.
By all means necessary, Dan.
Absolutely. I went out yesterday. Early voting started here in New York City, October 24th, so last Saturday. And, you know, because obviously I'm still working full time, trying to figure out when I can like get out there. And every time I was like, I'll use my little lunch break to go out and vote. I mean, it was a good problem that the line was just too long, and it would have taken me too long to stay there and try to do my work from home. But yesterday it was rainy like crazy. It still is a little bit. But I said, okay, let me try today because it's raining. Hopefully it won't be as many people. And it wasn't. So I literally was able to vote within 30 minutes. And I haven't been that emotional to vote since voting for Obama the first time.
Exactly.
The second time, absolutely. But this right here.
This is so imperative. Listen, I keep CNN on it because if I glance over every now and then over there, that's because I'm looking at numbers and what's happening. It's on all day.
Mm-hmm.
It is so important to vote Donald Trump out of the White House. He has got to go and take his little yellow wiglet with him.
Girl.
That little orange face, all of it. That little booty hole mouth, everything.
Oh, he is the absolute worst.
He's not even the worst. There has to be another, I need to look in the dictionary. There has to be a word worse than worse.
Yeah.
It has to be, because he's just like, no scruples, no morals, no compassion.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Danny, there are still 500 plus children
that will never find their people.
That will never, or may never,
find their.
Where are their parents?
Right.
How could you? Listen, that man has grandchildren. Do we ever see them? You know what was beautiful about the Obamas? You saw a family.
Yeah.
You saw a family strong, and we're not even going to go into the whole black family. You saw a strong black family. You saw a strong, united family.
That's right.
And that man was not only the leader, our leader, but he was the backbone and the leader of his family.
Absolutely.
Now she got her character, and she's strong.
Oh, Michelle. Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
He ran his home and he ran our country.
So really quickly, so when I was preparing for, because usually I do my IG lives in my living room with that set up, coming back here, elevating my laptop just a little bit for the focus, I pulled some books out of my bookshelf and look what fell out.
There you go.
When I tell you, I'm gonna start crying now, but this is what fell off the bookshelf because I saved it. And then this was right behind it.
And that's it. And that is exactly what I just finished speaking.
I will get these framed, girl.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You should. You have not in the last 4 years seen any type of sentiment, common sense. Do you remember the concerts that went on in the White House?
Oh, girl, the arts. Ailey was there, the opera, the all of it. The Kennedy Center honors.
The Kennedy Center honors. What happened?
I mean, they still happen, but do you recall a few years ago when Carmen de la was honored?
I don't even know when they went on because when Obama was in office, it was all I always knew. What was
Yeah.
Here you have a man that has no interest in any of this stuff.
No.
And I will tell everybody, please go and read his niece's book because she ran it down. She brought the receipts. Mary Trump brought the receipts.
Okay.
I read. Let me tell you something. Look here.
Okay.
The doctor was like, Joyce, I wasn't even answering him. I was in the book like this.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I read the book in 3 hours.
You know, and it's so sad to me how anybody can vote for this man, but especially marginalized, groups. I had a young brother, I don't know how old he is. I had a brother get up in my DMs last week, a black man, to tell me that, I love you, Danny G. I respect you and everything else, but I support Trump. Yeah.
Those people don't even exist for me anymore.
Say that one more time.
They don't even exist for me.
Yeah.
You know what, Danny? I've always been pretty much of an open-minded person in terms of differences. But this is one area where I'm very biased.
Yeah.
Okay? You can be my family member. That means I'll be cordial with you.
Right.
Because I know that you do support him.
Mm-hmm.
Only, most of my family doesn't, but I will not. It says a lot about you, your thinking pattern, and your character.
Exactly.
For you to support someone who snatches babies away from their families and leaves them as orphans, leaves them locked in cages. And I keep talking about the children because really it's something I'm having a hard time with it.
Yeah, me too.
Not being a mom, which I always had a hard time, with damn, I didn't get a chance to be a mom. So I'm always, my friends, I'm always somebody's aunt or, whatever. You're talking about a man that there is nowhere inside his being the genes of any type of I'm trying to look for the right word because I'm getting so daggone emotional
empathy.
right now.
He has no empathy. He has no humanity.
There's no empathy at all. It's like the devil is walking amongst us.
Mm-hmm.
The devil himself.
Yeah.
And his narcissism,
I
think he is like maybe the absolute in all of history, the worst case of narcissism I think this world has ever seen.
Yeah.
All those little flunkies around him are complicit, and I will tell you who I cannot stand, and I'm glad this is going to be for everyone to hear. That dang on Mitch McConnell.
Oh.
That little turtle-faced man. looking like the character from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
What's his name? Lord Voldemort?
Voldemort.
Voldemort. I know Mort was in there, something with dead.
Death. Just death.
That's another one that has to go.
Yeah.
Stephen Miller.
Oh.
That's evil. Because he was behind those kids.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Has to go. They
All
all have to go. Every last one of them have to go. And when they're gone, because I am just going to be optimistic, because see, I'm going to tell you the truth. The last election with Hillary, when Comey came out with that email story again,
mm-hmm.
This is where we're going to be screwed.
Mm-hmm.
He might have had a chance, but honestly, I actually don't think that the world was ready yet to have that female.
Not the world, the U.S. The misogyny in this country, the patriarchy in this country, because look at all the other countries with women leaders.
That's true. You're absolutely right about that.
It's this country. And I overheard during that whole time, men of all races saying, we ain't had no woman in office. I'm not gonna take no orders from a woman. Really? Okay. So I see where your head is. That patriarchy, that misogyny, is so toxic in this country. Yeah. It's so toxic.
Yeah. And now with they sworn in this.
The judge.
I hate to even say her name.
Was barely inexperienced, and then they trotted out Clarence Thomas to do the swearing in. Girl, right?
She hasn't done anything.
No.
She hasn't done anything. He used that as his little trump card.
Right.
Because he's got so many court cases against him.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh gosh, I am so disappointed with the United States, Danny, because I am always going to be that gung-ho, I'm American.
Yeah. I'm
a little more quiet these days walking around here. I'm like,
yeah. Well, let me ask you this, because you've been, abroad for so long. Do you have people? I mean, obviously, I don't think this way, but do you have people in your life that have said to you, how can you speak out about American politics? You don't live here anymore. Like, do you get that ever?
No.
Oh, that's good. Good.
I've never had that. I only had one time on Twitter because I am active on Twitter.
Well, say one time.
I had that once on Twitter.
Mm.
Someone responded to me saying, "You don't even live in the country." I didn't even know who this person was, but on my profile, on my description, it says, I live on the boot. I'm living.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And they kind of say, well, you're not even living here, so what gives you the right to say anything?
Right.
I got that, but not from anyone that I know personally. No.
Great. Well, I don't want to spend the entire hour talking about that madness because the anxiety is I was going to start this session by saying it's the last Friday before the scariest day of the year, meaning Halloween, but it's really the last Friday before the election, and it is really scary. But I want to get back to the arts.
I have high anxiety going on.
High anxiety, because either way, whichever way it goes, the threat of violence around this man is ever present.
And then we're going to conclude it. This is what I was about to say. I am sitting here, and this is why I brought up the Hillary situation, because I remember saying to myself, when that email situation happened again, and I said, besides the fact that the U.S. is not ready for a female president, I remember I became exhausted and I went to bed. That was in this period we were waiting for the house to be finished, so we were living in an apartment over here, and I hated it there. And I was saying, I'm going to go to bed because this is just too. I'm just too anxious. I'm too, reared up right now, and I went to bed honestly. In my thoughts, I was thinking, okay, she's going to do it, but in my heart, something, my guts kept saying to me, this man is going to win. My guts are not saying this now, but what I want all the Americans to do is to not sleep on anything because they see polls.
Right.
All right? Because this poll says this and that poll says that. The poll said that when Hillary was running against Trump.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And it turned out the way it turned out. We cannot have another 4 years of this complete madness. This is insanity. I, myself, and I speak for all the expats that live here, the same ones, you know, we don't even feel safe anymore. If something went on, if something were to happen, you know, we no longer feel as if our backs are completely covered.
Mm.
And I'm being quite honest.
Yeah.
You know, when Obama was in office, you know, I'll own it, I'll claim it. I was like, I'm American.
Right.
You know, all cocky. Well, I'm like.
That was supposed to be proud of. We had an amazing president.
And I am.
Ugh.
Now, I am taunted with this thought of this man going forward another 4 years. Because at that point, and I don't know if you saw that rally that took place, I don't know, where was that, in Michigan? I don't even know where it was. They had the big screen up. It looked like something out of George Orwell or something like that. Situation. That's where he's going.
Yeah.
So he's got to go.
Yeah.
He has got to go by all means necessary. He's got to go.
Yeah.
Can't have him again.
No.
And I don't want, you know, the men in America to start thinking, well, Joe Biden, all right, we get him in for president, but if something happens to him because this is his age and something happens to him, then that makes Kamala Harris, or I don't want that to happen.
No.
And that feeling.
Yeah.
There are a few of them out there.
Oh, I've seen the posts where, you know, again, men saying, you know, we don't want to take orders from her. Just what you're saying. And it's unreal. It's unreal. And yeah, so
It's surreal. I'm telling you, it's
I
like
know. So we'll have to check. We'll have to do a part 3.
girl, you know what? We just need to do the whole series. We just do Danny and Joyce series.
Me too. So I have about, let me see, like about, my God, like 12 minutes left before I have to. Yeah. But I do want to get back to, because yes, the arts, you know, here in New York, you know, Broadway, you know, they're saying they're not reopening until June of next year. The Met Opera, they're just already canceled their season. New York City Ballet, all of these things. But we're trying to do our best to get art out into the world. And I want to know, how is your album doing, Soul of Porter? Since you released it, reviews, how's it going? Wait, I just lost your volume for a second.
Can you hear me now?
That's better.
All right. When I released the album in February, was it 19? 2 days later, the lockdown happened. That's what happened, Danny. So I'm sitting here. I've got tons of CDs. You know, my first weekend I did great. I was off for the weekend to do some concerts. After the show, you know, you sell your CDs, and I racked up on that.
Yeah.
You know, it's on all the digital platforms, online and everything. But the lockdown happened, so people said, we can't even talk to you right now about your CD.
Wow.
They're like, we got big problems happening. So, also out of respect, I put it on timeout.
Mm-hmm.
So then I tried to pick it up again, you know, within the last month or two. And now here we are, when I finally got a chance to do the Blue Note.
Yeah.
You know, my album presentation was scheduled for February 28th.
Mm.
And that didn't happen. And they said, we're going to move it to May. And that didn't happen. And so I did it in October.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a little, I've seen some reviews online just by chance.
Right.
And I don't know who these people are. I haven't even talked to them.
Wow.
And they were good.
Yeah.
But I have not had the opportunity to have it, to promote it like I promoted Welcome to My World.
Yeah.
But I also had a record label behind me on that.
Yeah.
However, I never give up. And I started speaking with a few jazz, Lord have mercy, I can't think of the
Like
guys.
distributors or?
No. They're going to do some reviews for me,
Oh, okay.
some magazines.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just take it from there. But, you know, the problem right now, Danny, seriously, is, you know, everybody's still kind of like this. Like I said, summer came and everyone became relaxed.
Yeah.
And now we're back to this situation again. And we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, I've also booked, the guys booked on December 12th, a Solar Porter concert. But we have to see if that's even going to go on now. Because right now, you know, I'm getting ready to start booking my gospel season.
Right. Ugh. Yeah.
Started booking a few dates. But now with this new lockdown, we're already talking about the first week of December that's gone. And that's like, you know, once you hit that December 1st, that's when the gospel season really kicks off.
Right. Right.
So everything is just basically a huge question mark.
So big wait and see.
It's very much wait and see now. It's very much wait and see. As far as my album, the best thing I can do is just keep, you know, reaching out to people to see if they can give me a review or
Yeah.
You know,
So where is the best place that we can find the record and support you as well?
Everything's on the digital platforms because it's the physical CDs. I have them.
Right.
But I would just suggest just go on like Amazon.
Okay.
You know, Apple Music. It's on every last digital.
Right. But you get those. That money, right? That comes to you. Yes. So Amazon. I mean, right.
Danny, all that money comes to Miss Joyce.
Yes. Okay. So y'all heard it. Amazon, iTunes, everywhere. Buy the album. I will link it also. I'll share a link as well.
Yeah, it's on all the. You can just even put in Joyce Elaine Yuille, the Soul Porter, and you know everything will come out where you can download it online.
Yeah.
You can purchase it and download it, you know. Online.
Yeah. So the last thing I wanted to talk about really quickly was
contact with me, and I have to see if I'm going to send it off to you guys.
Yeah, right. Is, you know, one of the things that came up for me during this time as well as being grateful of having a job, you know, that at least for now, I don't know what's going to happen in the coming months because things are so just unstable, is also having a partner. Someone posted the other day on Facebook that, sorry, now this has been an emotional day. That she has not been touched, and she didn't even mean intimately or sexually or anything like that, but touched by a person that she knows or loves in over 7 months. And she's starting to feel the mental effects of that. And I think about, not to get too crazy deep, but I think about when there's that ward in the hospital for premature babies or babies that were born to maybe drug addicted mothers, and they're in those little cases, and they bring in volunteers to hold them, you know, just to touch them so they can like start to grow and get bigger. And I think how fortunate, you know, that I'm in a strong relationship that has been able to withstand, knock on wood, this pandemic and the separations and the anxiety, but just to have someone to hold you. This is a scary time, and I know you as well.
Yeah, it is.
And so for people that are single or don't have close friends nearby that they feel comfortable going to, I mean, the first time I hugged somebody was like, oh, because I'm a hugger.
Yeah.
And just what that does to the human spirit. And so I'm thankful that that you're well and you're healthy, that you're better, but that you also have, you know, an incredible partner in your life. How is his business doing? I'm sure it's tough.
It's rough because as I explained in our last interview that we did. Renato owns a tennis academy where there are a number of participants between the students and the maestri, the coaches. It's hard there because they had to be locked down because sports is in this whole situation as well.
Right.
Sports is there as well. And the last lockdown, it was hard for them. But when we opened back up again, he opened up in August, which normally they're closed for the month of August because that's holiday time. So he kept the academy open though. Only problem now is that, like I said, we're back to this going into lockdown.
Yeah.
And it's constantly, they have to constantly monitor, everyone coming in and out of there. He has a housing situation for a lot of the kids where they're, I think, 12 or something like that. One of them gets something.
Yeah.
So it's a constant. I wouldn't say a struggle. It's a little bit of a battle because you have to run your business. He has to run his business, but also take extreme, and I mean more so than anyone else, extreme precautions.
Yeah.
And it's stressful. It's stressful for him. We're here at home. It's just us two here, and half the time, Renato comes home and he eats and he is gone off to bed. He's tired. We've been together for 10 years, so my character is my character. I'm like, I see you when I see you.
Okay.
That's me.
Wow. Well, happy 10-year anniversary.
Oh my gosh. Well, that was in April, but the 11th is coming up, and I'm like, ooh, Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
But so there's times that I know it's difficult for the both of us being here, especially on the lockdown, because I know his character is he's very subdued, and and I'm like,
yeah.
And I'm just complaining about this, and I'm going on about that, and blah 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 blah, and every now and then I have to really give myself a chill pill. I know me. I am very aware that I can be a pain in the ass. I'll admit that in a minute.
Yeah.
I know my flaws.
Yeah.
And you have to be strong enough to be able to do that, because
Absolutely.
A lot of people around, they'll go walk into their mirror like this.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not,
John's been able to work a few times. Yeah, John's been able to work a few times, luckily, during this, and
oh my gosh, he's a sound guy.
Yeah.
Lord.
So he's actually been, luckily he's got a few gigs that happened, maybe 4 since February, but they were pretty high profile, so that's good. One with Alicia Keys for Good Morning America last month, a big outdoor concert for the essential workers. So that's beautiful. So, we're just trying to hold each other up, check in with each other. How are you doing? I mean, he's been fortunate enough to do well for himself, and he's smart with his money. So,
that's
he's okay for now. But again, I'm thankful that he's in that position, because there are so many of us that are not in that position. But he's doing okay. We're doing okay. I mean, I come home for the week just so I can refocus on work, and then we usually spend the weekends together, and that's been really great. Taking the train a little bit here and there, but not a lot.
You guys, because you still have your apartment.
Yeah.
You still go back to your home and whatever.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're not been together for 10 years. It's like old grandma, old grandpa.
But our weekends, I love them because it gets me out of Washington Heights, because no one's working. So especially with the summer, it was super busier than ever and loud, all good. But we just have our quiet weekends. We play board games, we play Scrabble. We just,
of course,
and just relax with each other and just.
Well, I'm with a workaholic, so it's like I said, I have that type of character where, I'm actually like a cat, so I can be on my own for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not that, like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? We are just like, see you later on. What you want to eat? Okay, all right.
Right.
So yeah, but he's holding it up. But
Yeah.
we are going to be at this point, everything, like I said, closed down.
Yeah.
Basically, and he stays preparing for that.
Yeah, well, I'm so sorry to hear that. And even as we're speaking, I can hear a siren.
Yeah.
You can hear it?
I can hear it, yeah.
Yeah, it had been better with all the siren noises for a while because when it first started, it was constant. And now that's starting to happen again. Yeah.
Also here. And then this is a little small town. And I remember when we did the first lockdown, the ambulance sirens were just
yeah.
all day long, all night, all through the night.
Yeah.
And we've got 3-ply glass doors and windows, and you could just hear them faintly, just back and forth. Yeah. And then that stopped for a while.
Yeah.
Not stopped completely, but it died down.
Yeah.
We're back to that again.
So in these last 2 minutes, any last thoughts, about, what you want to share with, us Americans back home, your fellow Americans? Obviously I'll check in with you on Wednesday, even though I don't think we'll know the results for a while, but.
I said, the last thing I want to say, I've already said it, is that you guys need to go out and seriously, if you haven't done so already, you need to go out and vote. It's just really, this is do or die.
Yeah.
And if you cannot, if you need assistance, try to find someone to help you get there. When I saw saw an article, a woman, 104 years old, New Yorker, she went and voted.
Yeah.
And they gladly led her to the beginning of the line so she didn't have to stand around and wait.
Yes.
So, what I want to say is that no one has an excuse. There are all types of ways for you guys to go and vote.
That's right.
The thing I'm saying right now is not to try to mail anything in.
Yeah.
You need to vote in person, have someone assist you.
Yeah.
You can have, I don't know how it's working now. Maybe you can have someone take your ballot in for you.
Yeah.
But it is so super important that everyone.
Right.
Vote. I don't want to hear about the liberals or
right.
Bernie person or I supporter. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. So just go out there and vote, people. That's what we have to do.
It is. Our lives are depending on this.
Yeah.
Our lives are really depending on this.
That's right. Well, I want to leave it right there because that is exactly right.
Of our history.
Yeah. Our lives depend on it. And Joyce, thank you for coming back. We are going to check in again for part 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
We just need to do a little online.
Okay. I don't want to run out of time, but make sure you guys, I will post a link to your album. We will check in again, in next week probably. And I love you. Stay safe.
I love you too.
I hope your shows can continue on somehow after the lockdown.
Lockdown, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But right now it's looking
so thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and we'll see what happens. So go vote, and we love you, Joyce. Stay safe, and we'll talk soon again. Bye.